I live in an island. It's called Waipin. It's the very smallest island in Cochin. I went from childhood to my dad's place, to my dad's shop, and yeah, I basically supported them from childhood, and I was a very good salesperson.
So you were an entrepreneur since childhood.
Yeah, I wanted to be a hairstylist, but my parents were like totally against it.
Yeah.
They told me to take a degree and then do whatever I need to.
Okay.
So yeah, I took bachelor's in electronics and communication engineering.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and then yeah, I just basically did it for my parents to make them happy. My friends were all the opposite, but I basically wanted to get married at a very young age.
Why were you in rush to get out of the house?
Why? Because yeah, I haven't visited any of my friends' home.
Okay.
Never ever. My parents were like too strict. Even if I wanted to step outside, my dad will be taking out for, you know, even the small minute things, and I haven't never had any freedom.
Any freedom?
Yeah. I mean, my parents were like good, like they were an awesome parents, but the thing
they were very caring and protective.
If you want to go abroad, just get married to a person. Just get married, and then you can do whatever you wanted to.
Okay.
So that's what I followed, and then I do not regret it, to be honest.
Okay.
Because my husband is so lenient. He opened a new world for me. I must say that.
Wow.
So he's a very supportive husband.
Hello everybody, and welcome to the next episode of WOW TV. As you know, WOW stands for World of Women, and we are focused on women empowerment. We bring to you stories of amazing and successful women entrepreneurs with the hopes of inspiring and motivating other women in the community, while also letting you know them up and close. So ladies and gentlemen, I have another amazing woman in the studio today, and I present to you Aishwarya Surenjan.
Thanks to me for this wonderful intro. So I'm so glad to be here today, and especially with you.
Same here.
I couldn't be more happier. So anyway, we were planning it for so long time,
Exactly.
and finally it happened. So yeah, I'm looking forward.
Well, you're a busy woman, and that is good, I guess. I mean, that means you're successful. Being busy is, I think, the first indicator. So I'm very happy for you, but I'm so grateful to you for making time and, you know, coming to the studio to share your story with us today. So ladies and gentlemen, as you heard, Aishwarya is a mortgage broker, and we're gonna, you know, dive deep into her story today, starting from the very beginning. So I want to know, Aishwarya, how was your childhood? I know you were born in Kerala, the beautiful Kerala. I mean,
God's own country.
God's own country, and I think when I think of Kerala, I envision those coconut trees and those romantic beaches.
Yeah,
it's heavenly. So how was your childhood? Tell me more about your family.
So from Kerala, I live in an island. It's called Waipin. It's the very smallest island in Cochin. Yeah, many people know Cochin. It is still known as Ernakulam. Yeah, so I'm from Cochin, and from the smallest island called Waipin. So yeah.
That's why you're so beautiful. Beautiful island. Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm from Waipin, and yeah, we had a very pretty much nuclear family. My father, my mother, and my sister.
Okay.
So me and my sister, we were like pretty much close, and we had a 10 years of age gap. And then coming to my mother and father, they both were into business. So yeah, so it was
that business minded, that business mind, I think came from
yes, to be honest, yes. And my dad still runs the business, and you know, I went from childhood to my dad's place, to my dad's shop, and yeah, I basically supported them from childhood, and I was a very good salesperson.
So you were an entrepreneur since childhood. Okay, this is the first time I'm hearing that. So
yeah, I used to go and support them, especially during the festive season. Not many shops were there. Plus,
and it must help him tremendously, like having the cute, beautiful child at his shop, and customers would be drawn. So.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I kind of saw them like from very childhood onwards. I used to basically grow there because it's just me and my sister.
Okay.
And then all the family, like we 4 of us will be there in the shop, and our shop closes at 12 a.m., sometimes at 1 a.m. in the morning. So it was that busy, and we all will be there. During the exams, we learned from our shop because I mean, there was no one to take care of us. So yeah, it was pretty much a fun time, and I was so inspired and motivated by my parents working hard. And so
running
yeah,
a business. So business runs in your blood. Hey, that's amazing. And so what did you do for your education, Aishwarya? Did you do a degree in business? Or?
I wanted to become a hairstylist, to be, I like kind of fashion. I'm not like
no one.
Yeah, I wanted to be a hairstylist, but my parents were like totally against it.
Yeah.
They told me to take a degree and then do whatever I need to.
Okay.
So yeah, I took bachelor's in electronics and communication engineering.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and then I just basically did it for my parents to make them happy.
Okay, but yeah, no. So, did you do anything then to pursue your own passion of fashion, hairstyling?
Not really, but during the college days, I kind of had a very good team of we had a team for fashion show.
Okay.
So I basically had fun time during particularly, especially those festive, not festive, it's like the college fest, which will be there every year.
Yeah.
So during those times, I'll be like the first person to
the queen of college fest.
No, it's not like that. But then I would be the first person to bunk the class. I'll look for any small excuses.
To
bunk. To bunk my classes and then
participate in the fest. Okay, and bring your glamour side out. That's amazing. Okay, so I have been following your story very closely ever since we met, and I see you've got a beautiful kid, a very handsome husband, if I may say. I mean, don't be jealous. I'm just saying because he does give you a credit. You guys are such a handsome couple together.
Yeah.
So, how did that happen? Did you get married after your education was finished in India, or did you guys meet here?
So, the fun fact is, I wanted to get married from a very young age. My friends were all the opposite, but I basically wanted to get married at a very young age.
Why were you in rush to get out of the house?
Why? Because I haven't visited any of my friends' home.
Okay.
Never ever. My parents were like too strict. Even if I wanted to step outside, my dad will be taking out for even the small minute things, and I haven't never had any freedom.
Any freedom?
Yeah, I mean, my parents were like good, like they were an awesome parents, but they
were very caring and protective.
Yes, yeah, because of the
how the community, how the society is there. They were,
So I wanted freedom, and I thought, okay, first better option would be to come abroad as a student.
Okay,
where most of my friends did, and my parents were basically against. So they just told me, if you want to go abroad, just get married to a person. Just get married, and then you can do whatever you wanted to.
Okay.
So that's what I followed, and then I do not regret it, to be honest.
Okay.
Because my husband is so lenient. He opened a new world for me. I must say that.
Wow.
So he's a very supportive husband.
So you married before you came here, because that was the condition, right?
Yes.
But then was it a love marriage or was it an arranged marriage?
I would say more like an arranged marriage.
Okay.
But then
from your pictures, it doesn't look like that.
More of an arranged marriage.
Okay.
But then, my parents gave me the option to choose a partner of my choice.
Okay, nice.
And I found a person. We almost had the same choices before marriage, but right now,
that happens after marriage, don't worry. So, but it's good because opposites attract. So if you are, opposites, that attraction is going to stay for long term. So that's good in a marriage. But so you came to Canada, I believe, in 2019?
2019, yes.
Okay, so it's not been that long. So did you move straight away to Calgary?
Calgary, yes. My husband came as a student to Canada. He was in a different province.
Okay.
He got his studies, and then he got his work permit in a good firm here.
Okay, that's
and then,
nice.
After that, he got his PR, and then, I took the easiest way of marrying him and came here.
Easy way out. Okay.
Yes.
So you just came and everything was ready and set up. Okay, here I'm going to hop on a plane and I'll come.
Yeah, I mean, I have heard a lot of struggles from a lot of my friends who came, just by themselves and finding a place to stay, finding a job, all those hurdles.
So you were a pampered daughter and then a pampered wife and like
kind of,
story.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, to an extent, yes, I have been blessed in such a way.
That is great.
And I empathize with the people who have been, through all these struggles. And yeah.
Well, okay. And then how come this transition? I know you were not a mortgage broker to begin with, because when I met you, I know you were working for Neo Financial. Yes. So how did this transition come about? What inspired you?
So when I came to Canada, I was having the mindset to be, to pursue my engineering further here. But then later on, I came to know that it is not so easy to be an engineer. We have to either have, to upgrade our education to, MTech or something of that similar field, which I was not at all interested to. It's not an easy subject.
Yeah. And then you're in the mindset now, like you want to work and not go back to school.
Exactly. So so I basically wanted to earn, and then the funniest thing is, soon after 1 month, I landed to Canada. We got conceived, and then I badly wanted to look for a job because to get the benefits and to earn some money, because it's just my husband's income.
Exactly.
So that's how I started working as a sales representative, and then from there I learned my people's, the people skills. It is a very important skill.
It's a very important skill in Canada. Yeah.
That job gave me, a lot more exposure. It was not a big fancy job, but then I worked in Superstore, Walmart, Canadian Tire, where I kind of faced customers and
the basic skills of communication.
Exactly.
That's where you learn them. Customer service, which is very essential. But with I think my own encounter with you was in 2022. And I think I was in Sunridge Mall with one of my friends, and we were just walking through, and I saw this really beautiful, attractive Indian girl, and she was you were working so sincerely, right? And I think it's the kind of role most women, at least from our cultures, would not be comfortable in, right? Like, stopping customers and educating them. And I found you very, very impressive. And that's, I think, where our connection started. And I was like, I want to stay connected to this woman. She's got something about her, No, you were very striking. And I think anybody who meets you, I think you make an impression. You are unforgettable for sure. So I think we stayed in contact, and then I found out you are a mortgage broker, and I was like, whoa. But I mean, you work with a very good financial company, and the way you educated me, I was like, she knows what she's doing.
Yeah, I mean, during the time when I met you, I was more of like a supervisor, I would say.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But then it took me some time to be in that position, like to be the best sales agent in whole Calgary.
Wow.
And in the whole company. And then from there, it took me to this position. And that is how. And during those time, sales job is not an easy.
It's not easy.
It's not an easy job. We did have the targets. Especially, I have to maintain my targets plus my team targets. And from there, I made a decision where I do not want to work with any work politics or work
for somebody, but work for yourself, right? And I knew that you were very sincere in the way that you were doing. I could tell, like, it doesn't even come to me as a surprise that you were excelling in that. So I'm sure as a mortgage broker, you are excelling, because I see such glowing reviews from people. And I mean, I just want to say on a personal front, recently, I think I took your advice when we were thinking of investing in investment property. I mean, we decided not to for the time being, but the advice Aishwarya offered to me, I think was a very big, solid.
It opened your third eye.
Yeah, it opened my third eye. I was like, okay, I'm not going to invest here, because everybody kept saying, this is a good project. I think that was a pre-build, right? That we were investing in. And then she opened my eye towards, pre-construction. And then she opened my eye towards the flip projects and other opportunities, which I'm sure her customers, would benefit greatly from her knowledge. So I want to ask you, like, which brokerage are you working for as a mortgage broker, and how has the experience been so far?
So I work with Enrich Mortgage Group, and they are one of the amazing brokerages. The reason why I say that is because I was working with Citadel when I was very brand new to this industry. I was interviewing a lot of, the thing is, if anybody wants to become a mortgage broker, please do the interview as if you are hiring someone.
Exactly.
Because it's a kind of two-way thing. You need to interview as much as you want. Do not feel shy to do so.
Exactly.
Why? Because I did not do that in my first brokerage, and so I made a very bad decision. And then within a month, I had a good feeling of no. I paid whole money upfront, but then time is more valuable than money.
Exactly.
So I researched more about the brokerages out there, and I came up with Enrich. There were many brokerages. I know there are so many good brokerages out there too, but then Enrich was my best option.
So what was the main factor, deciding factor in you choosing Enrich?
So the materials are what you learn from books is not the thing which you have to apply in the practical side. It's like day and night.
Right.
It's something you have to have experience. You need to have a right mentor. You need to have a right broker supporting you if you have questions day and night. It doesn't matter. Sometimes I work it because I have 2 young boys.
Right.
I work till 2 a.m., sometimes till 3 a.m. And finally, all my hard work and everything came into, the best possible way.
I know, and it's come to fruition now, right?
Exactly.
And so basically what you're trying to say is in Enrich, you got the best mentors that have a vast amount of experience, and you have that support system, to rely on to progress further in your journey, which is amazing. I think, and most people don't feel that, but I've heard a lot of stories from other mortgage brokers that are my friends. I think Brinda is one of them. I've known you. You both work for Enrich, and she has given the same feedback. So it's great that you guys are working with one of the, good mortgage brokers that giving you that satisfaction and, the feeling that, this is where I'm going to actually progress and I can develop on what I've already learned. So that's great. And what is your advice to people or clients potentially that come to you? Like, obviously, banks versus mortgage brokers, why should they go to a mortgage broker? So I can say by plainly, with closing my eyes, that if you go to a bank, for instance, an XYZ bank, the 5 major chartered banks, if you go there, you can just find one product, which is very common for every single one of them, right? Yeah.
So if you go to a mortgage broker, basically we shop around for the clients. Doesn't matter if it's a chartered bank, monoline lenders, or any other lenders out there. And we have the privilege basically to see what's best suited for that particular client. Sometimes what the product they purchase from the bank will not be the best ideal solution. If they want to have, say, refinance options, equity, there are a lot more other factors come into play. So sometimes the penalties or prepayment privileges, it will be there with every bank, but it will be it will be different for each and every banks. So a mortgage broker can basically shop around and
do the homework for you, research on all of those factors, and suggest which is the good fit for you.
Basically take away the burden from the clients.
Exactly. And the client doesn't have to do this all by themselves. That makes the decision so much more easier. And have you had an experience with any client where they were like they came from a bad experience and then they came to you and you made it better from that for
tons
them.
and tons of experience, I would say, because I'm a talkative person. I love to talk,
I know you
chit-chat.
were very educative. Like I just called you for this one little question and you gave me a whole like chapter on that. I was like, oh my God, this girl knows so much. So I mean, definitely reach out to her. She is, oh my God, she's a powerhouse that way. She's so much knowledge. I was so impressed. And it's for me to say that it doesn't come easy. I mean, like I'm honestly, you are amazing.
Simi, you know, you always have this good. You always make the other person feel so good. Like I feel like now I'm in the top of the sky.
But you deserve to feel that, my friend.
You know,
you worked hard.
Yeah, thank you for that. But you know, I must say this: every time I see you, I have noticed the way you talk to people. You always make the other person feel so good. You know, sometimes I'll be feeling so low, but then when I see you, the way you talk to people, it's always, you know, I always wonder, how do you get that kind of motivation?
Thank you so much. And you know what? Let's keep that ball passing.
Sure.
So tell me about that story you were going to share. Sorry, I interrupted you.
Yeah, so I think it was like, 2 to 3 days ago when I was at the gym working out.
Okay.
I met a lady. Her hair was like so beautiful. I asked her this question, like, where do you get your hair
Oh my God,
done?
you are attracted to hair. You got so beautiful.
She had got a very long curly hair, and that's how I wanted to ask this question. It was like I always wanted to talk to her, and she told me, we kind of chit-chatted, and then she asked me this question: what do you do for a living? I said I'm a mortgage broker.
Okay.
And she came to me, please help me, my renewal is coming up. And surprisingly, 2 of the major banks offered her 6.2, yes, 6.2
okay.
and 5.9, somewhere around that range, which was like pretty high out there.
Okay.
In fact, I have rates starting with 4.8, 4.9.
Wow.
Yeah, sometimes just like 2 weeks back, we had something like 4.69 and all. So yeah, pretty much I have very lower interest rates, and I was surprised to see like people do not know much about these mortgage rates. They prefer to go something with the established banks, established names, rather than going to a mortgage broker.
Yeah.
So, and then I'm working on her file, and so yeah, that is one of the quickest thing I can remember.
Okay, that's good. So I think lesson learned. First thing, do talk to women that have curly, beautiful, long hair, and do go to the gym. I mean, curly, beautiful hair, you can see one example. So, okay, that's good. All right. So, that's amazing. And I think it's just the traditional mindset, right? Like bank is deemed to be more secure, especially coming from countries like India. There's nothing like mortgage brokers or sales broker in any industry, like even real estate. Have we heard of them in India? No, there's nothing. There's no term like real estate brokers or mortgage brokers. People do everything by themselves. And the only place they will go where they can trust their finances is the bank. So I think it's that age-old, you know, thinking that's been drilled into our minds.
Exactly. But do not take me wrong. Again, banks, I don't mean to say that banks are not decent or, you know, sometimes it will not be your best ideal option out there. But I do collaborate with banks as well.
Okay.
But then talk to a mortgage broker, because they can offer pretty much decent rate and basically, yeah, pretty much everything rather than a single ideal product.
Yeah, I think it's always good to have options, especially in this country, because there's so much, you know, with everything going on with your credit score, with your debt, income to debt ratio, and God knows, I mean, X, Y, Z, how many factors, which never existed in our countries. I think it's of value to consult a mortgage broker like herself to make the best decision, because again, like financial situations are also variable person to person, right? Yeah. So you can, I think, tailor the individual solutions.
Exactly. We can provide them customized solutions. And,
exactly.
And at the end of the day, the best thing for the clients is they do not have to pay us.
Exactly. I think the payment model is the same.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much the same thing. We do not charge any fees or anything
from the clients.
Yeah, our consultation and everything is pretty much straightforward. Except I would say, like, if you have any B-side deals, that like the alternate side deals, yes, there is broker fees and other charges. But then on the A side, which is like more people prefer to be on the A side, And yeah, so you do not have to worry about any fees or any charges.
Okay, so that was between mortgage brokers and banks, but between the different mortgage brokers itself, like there's so many in market nowadays. What do you think people should be looking out for or watching out for to decide, okay, this versus A versus B, this is a mortgage broker I can work with? Do you think there are any such factors to look out for? I recently, like, what kind of homework, as if I was a customer, what kind of homework would I or should I be doing?
You basically go with your gut feeling, I would say.
Really?
You know,
Okay.
basically when you talk to someone, you know whether they are more attracted towards money or for your best
So
interest.
basically, at least go and do your consultations.
Oh
at
yes,
least, right?
When you talk to a person, you will have that feeling. Just go with the gut feeling. And also another thing I would say is, I worked on a client. It was like 2 months ago. There was this client. I kind of felt that you know, it's not pretty much. I was having a tough time working on this file. I said to them, maybe you can explore another option. They were like, okay, and they consulted another friend of theirs. So what they did is they right away pulled their credit. You know, pulling a credit means that your credit score is getting reduced.
Yeah.
I basically work or pull the credit score once I feel like the deal is about to work and towards the final stage of you know, processing.
Okay.
Which makes the, you know, I empathize with the client. I basically have feelings, or I basically, you know, understand the emotions of the clients, and I work along with that. So, you know, some people do not have that feeling or do not have that empathy feeling. Just try to understand when you have that gut feeling. Okay, there are tons of mortgage brokers out there, so do not feel like you have to stick with this person. But once you start to work with a person, stick with them, because they have put all their hard work and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So that's great. And I think it's just basically going with a mortgage broker that is looking out for you as well, right? Like not just looking out for their own interest, which is obviously financial, but looking out for your interests, to your preferences as well, right? And I think, what do you think, like these Google reviews and all these helps?
Yes. In my case, it actually helped me. When I started my career, there are like tons of mortgage brokers out there. But then I asked my clients, if you like my service, please do post a review, which helps in my business. Yeah. And they were so much, glad. And I know, they were so happy working with me, and they right away told me, yes, that is the least we can do for you. And yeah, so
that is great. And I guess everybody who works with a qualified professional that has given them a good service, I would highly encourage to leave a Google review, but also recommend and refer them to your family and friends so they can take the benefits too, right? So I think this was a really amazing discussion we had, Aishwarya. I am so happy that I got to, take a deep look and a deep dive into your journey. I was always inspired by you. I don't know, like you're inspired by me, but I get inspired by you. Like I was like, oh my God, she is, she knows what she's doing and she got it. And when you told me, like, you're a mortgage broker, it's like I knew she was going to do something, and she's arriving there. So I have all the faith in you, my friend, and thank you so much for coming here and sharing your journey with us today. And hopefully all the viewers watching, especially the women viewers, I'm sure that you find her story motivating. And if you do have any mortgage needs, if you're a first-time home buyer or doing your mortgage renewals, please do think about Aishwarya Surendran. She's really knowledgeable, and I can't stress that enough. I've had an amazing experience with her. You can look at her reviews. You don't have to believe me. But yeah, would you like to announce your phone number?
Yes.
If anyone wants to get in touch with you.
Yeah, my phone number is 825-365-9296. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'll be just glad to, share with you my knowledge and my expertise. And yeah, that's it. And by the way, Simi, there will be another episode of Wow where I'll be interviewing you.
Let's do that. We have to do that. Okay, somebody needs to interview me too, right? Thank you for offering. I would be delighted. Thank you so much again for all the viewers. Please keep loving and supporting us, just like you support our events. Please keep supporting all our episodes and keep supporting all our amazing wow ladies. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and follow all our channels on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram.